Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paige and I'm the creator of the Sweet Indulgent Budgets. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the truth behind low income budgeting. So let's jump right into it. All right, so I just kind of wanted to come on and make this video because I feel like personally, I have been struggling with this a lot. I watch a lot of you guys on your channels and I see all these big numbers and I felt like I needed to make this video not only for somebody out there, but for myself. Budgeting on a low income looks very different than what you usually see on the internet, especially on my channel. A lot of budgeting content makes it seem like everybody has like hundreds or even thousands of dollars, whether that's extra that they have every month to either save or put towards sinking funds, and that's not the reality. The reality of it is that for a lot of people, budgeting is simple. It's about making sure, one, the bills are paid, and if you have to stretch the dollars as far as they can, if possible. So today, I wanted to talk about the real truth behind low income budgeting. Kind of the things that don't always get talked about. I feel like if you're budgeting on a smaller income and sometimes it feels like you're doing something wrong, you're probably not, honestly. So we are gonna talk about 7 truths that I feel like go with low income budgeting. So let's jump right into it. All right. Truth number 1. One of the biggest truths I feel like I felt the most about was budgeting on a low income. Sometimes the goal of the budget is simply surviving. Like true, simple, just surviving. The goal isn't saving a lot of money or building a huge emergency fund right away. Like you have to make sure that you are able to pay the rent, that the groceries are covered, and that the lights are staying on. That should be your main priority. When you're working with a smaller paycheck, your money often has a job before it even hits your account. That's why we go ahead and budget out our paycheck before we get it in. By the time you cover your expenses like housing, food, transportation, even utilities, gas, all of it, there may not be much left. I grabbed the wrong binder. There may not be much left, especially with me being a student right now. I'm only bringing in, on the low end, $350 every paycheck, every 2 weeks. So it can be frustrating, especially when you feel like you're, like all these people are saving so much and you're in survival mode. So all right, truth number 2, I feel like it matters the most to me, are small expenses matter a lot. I feel like that is one of my bigger ones. When you're on a tight budget, those small expenses can have the biggest impact. For somebody that, like, when you have a lot of extra income, a $20 expense might not be noticeable to you. Whereas like to me, when I'm budgeting every dollar, that $20 might mean that I need to adjust something else in my budget. Like if I went out to eat and I bought somebody's meal and I wasn't planning on it and I didn't have that $20, I'm gonna have to pull it out of something else. I might have to pull it out of gas. I might have to pull it out of groceries. That money has to come out of somewhere because I am a $0 budgeter. For a lot of people on lower incomes, it's very important to be aware of where sorry, I was confusing myself there. It's very important to be aware of where every dollar is going. So you don't want to pull out your debit card and swipe it because you just pulled that money from something else, even if you thought about it or not. So having awareness can be the biggest strength with low income budgeting. All right, number 3 is unexpected expenses hurt more. It kind of ties into number 2, but number 3 I felt like really hit me hard. Sorry, I'm trying to grab the right envelope. We got a couple extra dollars, so I'm just gonna stuff them where it needs to go. So the reality is unexpected expenses happen, and sometimes they're gonna hit hard. Just to be honest, they're gonna hit hard. So think of car repairs or medical bills or home repairs, or even something small like needing new tires, which that's not small, but in a sense of HVAC compared to new tires, it's something that can completely change your budget for the month. So when you don't have a large emergency fund yet, especially when you're first getting started, those situations can be very overwhelming. I understand that one, especially with the tires. But that's also why many people who try to budget and try to build a sinking fund or savings fund over time, it takes a long time to get to where you want to go. Just adding small amounts can make a dent in those situations. Think of you had $50 saved to put towards like vehicle maintenance for the month, and you had a blown tire and needed, AARP or somebody to come out and help. Well, they had a deductible or copay or whatever. You had that money set aside where it might be $150. You had that money set aside, so then you only owe $100. All right, so kind of going along, we're gonna trying to remember what envelopes I was going to stuff today, because we just had some extra cash and I was like, I'm gonna put it towards something. So number 4 kind of goes along with number 3 in a sense of progress is slow. Let's just be honest. When you're on low income, progress is slow. One thing I wish more people talked about is that when you're making progress, it often happens much, much slower for lower income than it does like sinking funds, for example. I might only be able to save $1, $2, $3 every here and there, maybe once a month. Whereas people with a higher income than me can save $5 every paycheck. So when that happens, even saving $5, $10, $20 at a time, it might not seem like much compared to what you're seeing from these other people, but over time, they're still going to grow. You're still going to have that income. You're still going to have that sinking fund growing. It's not a race. It's about consistency, personally. That's something I personally have to tell myself all the time, is it's progress over perfection. It's progress over perfection. It's consistency over everything. So sometimes the biggest win is just staying consistent, even when things are tight in that moment. Just keep that. So moving on to number 5. Number 5 is paychecks aren't always predictable. Especially in my sense, I am paid hourly. So if I don't work, I don't get paid. And I think some people, they have issues with that. It's like, if I don't work, I don't get paid. I don't get ELB, I don't get PTO, I don't get sick days. Like, if I don't work, I don't get paid. So it can make budgeting, especially planning a paycheck, it can make it difficult when it comes to income. It can make it difficult when your income's not consistent or predictable. So like maybe your hours changed. If you were getting overtime, maybe it disappeared. You weren't getting overtime anymore. Unexpected things come up, especially in my sense. We had a funeral not too long ago, so I couldn't work all day. It makes it hard to plan ahead. So when you're budgeting with those lower incomes, it means being able to adjust consistently and doing your best with what you can with your paycheck. Making sure we keep the lights on, our bellies are full, rent is paid, anything, we're making sure that those are hit first. All right, moving into number 6. Number 6 is budgeting still gives you control. So this was something that I was very lenient on when I first started. Even though we are budgeting with a low income, it can be difficult, but it's still one of the most powerful tools we have with managing our money. So without a budget, personally, I have to remind myself this, especially when I first started getting into more seriously cash budgeting, was it's really easy for money to disappear when you're not knowing where it goes. When you have a plan I use paper to plan all my stuff. You can use a digital device, you can math it in your head, whatever. I personally like to put it on paper. When you have a plan, even if the numbers are small, even if your income's small, even if you have 8 bills you have to pay, you still have control over where the money is going, and it can make such a huge difference. For lastly, our number 7 is, I love this, I preach it all the time on some of my videos, is small wins matter. Small wins matter. One of the most important things I have to tell myself is, even if I'm saving $10, I'm saving $10. Even if I'm saving $5, I'm saving $5. Maybe I paid off a bill. Maybe I just stayed within my grocery bill for the month. Maybe I didn't go out to eat and have $20 left over in a 2-week span. It may not seem that big. It may seem very small in the moment, but big picture, it's still progress. So that was the last truth. I felt that those were just some of the biggest things that I had to learn when I first started cash budgeting and when I first started taking this more seriously, because I wanted to work ourselves out of debt. I just wanted to remind not just myself, but everybody out there who's budgeting on a low income that you're not alone. I'm still working on a low income. We will probably be doing this for the next 2-3 years until our debts are paid off. But budgeting when money is tight, it is hard sometimes, but you have control over it when you plan it accordingly, even if they are those slip-ups, even when there are unpredictable things that happen. Every small step you take is still moving you towards the right direction. So that is where I'm going to end the video today. I hope you all have an amazing Sunday when you're seeing this. I hope you take something from this. If you did, or have something else that you think would be beneficial for people to know, please comment it down below. I love to learn new stuff from you guys all the time, but I felt like this one was in my heart. It is something that I needed to remind myself and to personally give you guys maybe some guidance on how to do this. But thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked what you saw, please consider joining the family. I am growing and I'm so excited for the next step. But I'm going to end it here. Remember, you're always welcome at my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.